What's going on, guys? Welcome back to LOI Fan TV. I hope you're all keeping very, very well. In this video, we're going to be looking ahead to the Premier Division this weekend. Obviously, five fixtures, three on Friday, two on Sunday, due to the European football taking place on Thursday night. Joined once again by Luke to go through it all. Luke, how are you, man?
All good, yeah. Looking forward to getting back into Premier Division action. Yeah, three games on Friday, as you said. So it's not nice. It's like staggered out. It's not just all the games on the Friday. You kind of have it over the course of the weekend, which is nice. So
Hmm.
should be good.
Feels like a while since you've done like a league video. We've been doing cups and Europes and all these. It feels like
Yeah,
nice to get back to the basics, isn't it?
100%. It must be a pain for like teams that aren't in the cup or in Europe, just like sitting on the sidelines waiting for games. Like so,
Yeah, yeah.
it's good to kind of have a good full round where all 10 teams are in it. So
Yeah, no, absolutely. We will start off, of course, the games on Friday night, a couple of crackers. Start off with Drogheda, who play host to Inform Sligo. That's Sligo's league form I'm talking about, not their cup form per se. But Drogheda off the back of that, I think they won 9-0 in the cup there last week, I think it was. Um, they're in desperate need of points, really, to be honest, and they badly need to try and nick something here. But Sligo are in with their own shout of European football this season, more than capable of doing so. Obviously, won against Shells in the league last time out, so in a fantastic position to try and push on and grab third or fourth.
yeah, 100%. Sligo are in unbelievable form. Like obviously you can speak in that Shells result, but like even before that, like they're beating Rovers and they're just on a really good run of form. And even losing like Max Mata and Fabrice Hartman, like they're
Mm.
still just they keep on trucking along. So like fair play to them. And then obviously Drogheda, like your man Douglas James Taylor, like has hit the ground running since he's
Yeah,
come from England. So like they're both kind of, I wouldn't say Drogheda are out of form. Like they went to Tala and got a good draw. So
yeah,
I fancy them too in this tie. Yeah, it's hard to split them. And
tough.
obviously
Yeah,
you go off Sligo, but you're just thinking, draw the home advantage and they're dire need, as you say, to pick up points. Like they're 2 points off Dundalk, so kind of every little helps. So
yeah.
yeah, I said there'd be goals in this. I'm gonna say 2-all.
Too well. Yeah, yeah. Good shout. Could definitely see that. It's hard to know because yeah, you could draw to do look a lot better. Obviously, I don't know if you're at the game in Tala, but fantastic for them to get the point there, and by all
Yeah.
accounts, they absolutely deserved it as well. Connor Kane looks to have kind of come on a lot, which I'm glad to see as well. Obviously, was previously with Chels and didn't, I think he had a bad injury and didn't get much of a look in, but you can kind of see from his early spell that he was a good player, and then gone back to Drogheda now. You can see I think he's involved in that Douglas James Taylor, is that his name?
Yeah.
His goal. I think he got the assist for that. So yeah, Drogheda. I like Doherty as well. I hope he can kind of turn it around, but this is tough. I'm gonna go. I think I'll go for a draw as well. I think 1-1. I think it's hard to separate those two. Drogheda at home. Their home record isn't actually terrible either. They're quite decent at home typically as well. So yeah, I think a draw could be on the cards as well.
Yeah, definitely. It's a mad little league, isn't it? Like
Yeah.
Drogheda with 9 games to go on 22 points. Like I suppose if you put them in that position, most of their leagues they probably wouldn't even be bottom. So just comes to
No.
show you kind of how everyone's nipping points off each other this season.
Yeah, yeah, no, without a doubt. Next up, we do have a massive game at the top of the table. I believe Waterford are currently in third place, playing against Derry City in second. Waterford off the back of that, they obviously I think they beat Bows in the league last time out, but then they got knocked out of the cup. Controversially, I will say, against Athlone Town, and they're 2-1 up after 115 minutes, and somehow the game ended 3-2, poor penalties. So a crazy turn of events that Athlone beat them and got through to the quarter final. But in terms of league form, Waterford have been excellent this season, a newly promoted side. They'd been shocked if you told them where they'd be now at the start of the season. So they've been flying. Derry on the other hand, um chucking along a little bit, obviously still well in that title race. Was the last game that 1-1 draw? Was that the last game they played in the league? I think they
Yeah,
won the cup, obviously. So yeah, it's hard to know with them what kind of Derry you're going to get. This is a very difficult game for them.
yeah. As you say, it's Derry, like it's a weird one, isn't it? Because they're technically in a title race, but if you're to talk to the average Derry fan, they wouldn't be too pleased as they're going for a double technically, but like they've just been
Yeah.
very unconvincing, but it's just the story of Derry, isn't it? Like, a good wins followed up by one or two bad results. Yeah, like as you said, Waterford as well, like in a rich vein of form. There's like obviously controversially knocked out of the cup, but sure look like, in a newly promoted side kind of coming up into the league, like that's not a bad representation at all. Third place after 27 games. Yeah, no, like you can flip a coin on this one to be honest. No, it's a tough one, isn't it? Like
It is.
I can't really see Derry as much as like they're challenging for the league. I can't see them going there and getting 3 points based off how they've recently been playing. Like obviously the draw against Dundalk and so on. Like and a few disappointing results before that. Yeah, I don't know.
You probably want the draw here from a Rovers
Well,
perspective, do
not
you?
yeah,
Uh,
I'm real us out of that run in, but uh, I'm gonna go for a Madden here. I think it's a bit of a stalemate. Could go 0-0.
0-0. Yeah, I could definitely see that, to be fair. Got a lot at stake. If Waterford win this game, they close the gap on Derry to 3 points. So like it's right behind them if they can pull off the win here. And actually I'm gonna back them to do so and hopefully give Shells a little bit of breathing space. I'm gonna go for Waterford to win this one 1-0. I think they might just have enough about them, and I think that obviously Darley he's sending off was overturned, so he got the
Yeah,
appeal successful, so
no.
he's back in contention for this game. That's a disgraceful decision, by the way. Did you see that?
It's nice to see the FAI overturn a decision
Yeah,
in a
yeah.
while.
I don't think they had a choice for this one. Oh my, yeah. Sorry, I didn't even catch catch it. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think Waterford, I think might just have enough to see off Derry, but yeah, it's gonna be a tight game no matter what. And yeah, it's just hard to know. I think Heat Long could be the difference here between him and Rory Higgins. Heat Long might have trick up a sleeve to nick this win.
Yeah.
Um, moving on then to probably the game of the weekend at Tucker Park this Friday. Shelburn playing host to Bohemians Dublin Derby. I believe it's live on Virgin Media as well. Nearly sold out, which is great to see as well. But yeah, massive game for both sides. To be honest, Shells potentially with an opportunity to extend their lead at the top. Um, Seeing how depending on how events go at the RSC, Bohemians in their own kind of little relegation battle that they need to keep an eye on themselves. A lot of fans are desperately worried considering their form at the moment. I think it's a 1 win in 15 or something like that, which is absolutely incredible, really, considering the spend that they've got, the amount of money they spent this season and the kind of squad they put together. I guess it's not great, but everything all together, the way they've been run, it just shows on the pitch really how poorly they've been kind of operating off the field, really, doesn't it?
You have to ask questions of the manager, like to be honest, because I just don't
I
think it's
think it
good
goes
enough.
higher than that. I think it goes higher than
Yeah,
that. That
100% it goes
yeah,
hard and that goes up the felon and so on and the whoever's distributing the money in the club. Yeah, like you look at Bowes and like Reynolds is their manager who's arguably an assistant, and then the number
mm,
two, Stevie O'Donnell, who's a manager as a number two. And
yeah,
like at the start of the season, if you would have asked anyone, I would have thought that O'Donnell would be more qualified than Reynolds. And I'm not saying for there to be a switch up there, but Reynolds, it just hasn't impressed me. He just hasn't impressed me when he
no,
as both manager. Like even signing like Ross Tierney, like Kavanagh, Dawson Devoy, like they haven't gotten better. I know whatever they're still in the cup and so on, but it's just not good enough to be honest.
no.
Like as about like I can only imagine what Bowes fans are feeling. I said they're disgusted, but yeah, it's just shocking. And Shell's like obviously will want to overturn that bad result up in Sligo. And I think
Yeah.
they're the best place to do so. Like obviously double derby games are never completely one sided, but I could see kind of Shells nicking it or winning the game kind of by a goal. So I'm gonna go 2-1 Shells.
Yeah, yeah. Um, hopefully it makes me a little bit nervous. I think the Will Jarvis loss. I know Aidan O'Brien's come in and scored in this daily, but he's not. He's a striker. He's not a Will Jarvis replacement out and out. Really, I think it's going to be really difficult to kind of. I think even just like knowing you have him on the pitch, like psychologically, is huge as well. Knowing you have a difference maker, knowing you have that player to get the ball to win a free kick if you're in trouble or to get you 20 yards of the pitch or whatever. I think Will Jarvis is just so important to them. I think he's such a big blow. So whether it's going to be down to like Liam Burt, Matty Smith, etc., to kind of and Tulloch who came in as well to really step up to the plate and take over the mantle. Um, yeah, it's a big ask. I think Shell should have enough here to beat Bows though. I think in terms of how Bows are looking at the moment, I'd be shocked. But that always makes me nervous with Bows when they're like when you least expect them to win, they somehow pull something off randomly. That's just who they are as a club, really. I think they beat us at Talker Park earlier in the season as well, 2-1. So yeah, this is makes me nervous. But I think in terms of just a prediction, I think we have the quality to beat them. I'll go 2-0 Shells, clean sheet, and hopefully a relatively comfortable evening.
100%. Yeah, it actually makes you even ask the question of Shell's budget, like where they're at. Because obviously Mandreu going to Rovers and like Pat's being in from. like technically, like that's an out and out replacement for a Will Jarvis, and Shells haven't really been linked to that caliber of player. Like, obviously he's no fault of their own, but like, Shells are going for a title here, and they've nowhere near the resources of a Derry, of a Rovers, of a Pats. Makes you
Yeah,
just kind of shows how good of a job Damien Duff's doing, but at the
yeah,
same time they're almost operating with a hand tied behind their back, losing Malloy, losing Jarvis, not being able to replace them.
yeah, yeah. Boyd and Tech as well. Yeah, yeah. No, absolutely. I guess bringing in like an Aidan O'Brien is kind of a marquee signing for Shells for where they're at, and it's a sign of the progress the club has made over the last couple of years. Like we haven't been in the Premier Division for terribly long. Like so, I think it's probably about trying to learn our lessons from previous years and not blowing mad money on players unsustainably and stuff. It's trying to do it the right way, and I think Malloy obviously had that release clause there. I think that's probably a big problem that the League of Ireland needs to look at for young players. Because I think Aberdeen spent 75 grand on Gavin Malloy, who's going in to centre half, looked amazing straight away. Spent like £1 million on another winger from another kind of European country. So that's the difference between what clubs are getting from at the same club, you know. Um,
Definitely.
so yeah, it's just like the Gavin Malloy probably will end up being £1 million player, like in terms of a year's time, or whatever. So yeah, it's a terrible shame, but yeah, story for another day. But yeah, I think resource wise, I think Shells have done okay to bring in Tulloch, and there's a little bit of depth there. Maddie Smith, Liam Burt, there is a bit of depth in that area of the pitch, but obviously the likes of managers and stuff. I just think Damien Duff levels the playing field a little bit, doesn't he? In terms of getting that extra 5-10% out of players, I think it levels the playing field.
100%. No, definitely like manager of the season, undoubtedly, regardless of how Shell, if Shell's finished third, like he's still getting manager of the season. He's like, that's how good
Yeah,
of a job he's done. So fair play to him.
yeah, yeah. Double on the way. Still in line for a double.
That's it.
um, Finally, obviously, the games on Sunday then in Premier Division, we do have the two European sides in action. We have Dundalk paying host to St. Pat's at Oriel Park, the John Daly Derby. Obviously facing his former side. Dundalk will be probably more they're definitely more desperate for points. Pats are kind of in that seven position. Season's kind of dead and buried in terms of the league campaign, and potentially the European campaign to be dead and buried by then as well. So, their whole season could be over. Could be a deflated feel about them. So, and obviously there might be a few tired legs. So it could be a good opportunity for Dundalk to pick up 3 points here.
That's it. Perfectly said. Yeah, I can see Pat's putting the second string out here, and obviously Dundalk and have draw down their coattails. So, like, it's really in Dundalk's best interest not to lose this game, and like they'll have no better opportunity against Pats because it fell at the perfect time, especially if
Yeah,
Pats get a good result on Thursday and they think they'll have a chance going over to
yeah,
Turkey. So
Jesus, yeah,
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 away from home, kind of up on that pitch as well, Laura Park, can you be thinking I'm not going to risk any to go like Ramal Palmer or Chris Forrester or any of those lads. So
yeah,
yeah, I fancy Dundalk here to be honest. I think John Daly will get them up 3-0. So he knows Pat, he knows their players. I think Dundalk get a good crowd on a Sunday, and yeah, I fancy them. I'm gonna go 2-1 Dundalk.
yeah, yeah. No, I agree. I'm going to go 1-0 Dundalk. I think I think they'll have enough to overturn Pats. I don't think Pats are any great shakes. I think Dundalk, if Bows lose on Friday night, Dundalk can win on Sunday. The gap's only 1 point. Obviously, I think Bows have a couple of games in hand, but only 1 point in it. It's a really, really nervous time. The Daily Man Park then. And yeah, inject it, honestly. Inject it. Like, I'd love
It'd be
it.
brilliant, wouldn't it? Oh, it's
Yeah.
fucking brilliant.
Still to play each other, plenty of games to go. Like, yeah, I
Oh,
think Bose's next games. Let me just read them out here. I've looked at them really once. They've Shells, they've Rovers, they've Shells, and then the Derry. Their next four, like,
oh, stop.
so like trouble, trouble.
Ridiculous. And Dawson Devoy, I heard someone say he's one of the highest paid players in the league. Like
Wouldn't
imagine a
surprise
world
me.
in which they go down. He's on a long term deal on like 2.5 grand. That we asked him, like it's just like it's true what Tim Clancy was saying. Like people in the league paying mad money. Like someone's eventually going to go down and have a monumental wage bill, and that'll kind of be a reality check for the whole league.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And Dawson Devoy surely will not want to be playing first division football at 24 years of age
Well,
when he's playing League One a
honestly,
couple of years. Like, yeah, it's a crazy. Yeah, finally then sorry we got went for the Dundalk win there against Pats. Finally then Shamrock Rovers against Galway. Rovers obviously I think they're still in the title race. I'm not ruling them out just yet. I know you kind of have, but I think they're still in with a shout, and it could go down to the late stages. How much they'll put on this game maybe depends on how Thursday goes.
Yeah, I know. I think regardless of us not being in the title race, not being in the title race, I think it's really important that we get our league form in order because
For
it's just
Europe,
not
actually, yeah, fifth in the league at the moment. So
yeah, like it's important that we start, like every game. We just gotta take a game by game, and every game's worth the same 3 points. And like at home to Galway, like we played them earlier on the season, drew 1-0, Dylan Watts missed the penalty, and they Galway scored their only shot. So like I think there's a bit like, we look for a bit of revenge here. And I think that the likes of Mandreu kind of maybe getting a star here, like Nolte as well. Like there's places up for grabs kind of with a packed European campaign coming. So like yeah, I think we should win. I'm not gonna say it's gonna be convincing. I'm probably gonna probably a boring 1-0 Rovers win.
yeah, yeah, as we know, Galway are tough to play against, and
Yeah,
obviously took shells the penalties there last Friday as well, and in Talca. So Greg Cunningham coming in there, obviously a bit of experience at left back, and yeah, they have a good side, and obviously well drilled, well coached. Um, it's giving me like if shades of that draw the game in terms of a draw for some reason.
I'm
But I think
surprised.
Rovers need to win if they want to get top three because it's important for them. Even obviously the rise are on Europe this season, but for next season to get Europe again, it is important in whatever kind of facet it's in. It is important for them to get it top
Yeah,
three, top four finish or whatever. So, um, I'll just go Rovers. I'll go 2-1 Rovers, just about. But I don't. I'm not comfortable in that prediction.
yeah. As you said, like it's just what version of them show up. Like they're more than capable. It's just about putting that ability into 3 points, which hasn't been done. Well, as I saw, we dropped points in 15 games this season. That's that. It was like 15 or
Crazy,
17 games this season. We dropped points. Like from the
crazy.
champions' perspective, that's just unacceptable. So it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, it needs to be fixed.
The worst champions in history. The worst champions in history.
Oh, sure. We'll have a look at Shells next year. We'll continue the chat.
Well, if I take the league this season, I'll take it. I'll take it. Well, there you have it, guys. Our predictions ahead of this weekend's games in the Premier Division in the League of Ireland. Make sure to leave a comment down below with your predictions on these games, and make sure to drop a like if you did enjoy it. Is much much appreciated. And why not subscribe if you're new as well? Of course, it is much appreciated if you can do so. Obviously, plenty of content coming out over the next while, plenty of European stuff and all that. So yes, make sure to stick around. Luke, a pleasure as always, man.
Thank you, Ross. Cheers.